All right, want to go for a ride? I've just got the old F-150 out today. Old pickup. Riding with Ron at 0 degrees in Whipple, West Virginia. Actually, it was -4 this morning. It's warmed up. Got a heat wave going on. So I just wanted to bring you up here and bring you up to date. Yeah, this is where the old soul miner lives, right here on top of this hill in Whipple, West Virginia. We do have a snowplow up here, just not on my little bit of road. Here we go. All right, look at that. There's the town of Whipple, or no, excuse me, Scarborough. Scarborough is right over the hill there. Now, I am going to take you down here and show you the Whipple store. So you'll see that's a landmark that I think several people around in West Virginia would know. Kind of easing off this ice hill till we get down here to the bottom, so I don't get carried away. That's the thing you gotta do, don't get carried away. Take it easy. Yeah, down here at Whipple, West Virginia. Now right across there is the clinic that was in Whipple. Now it's closed, and there was a church that bought part of that out, Scarborough Baptist Church. But the clinic moved. They bought out the old Kmart store and put in a huge, they called New River Health. They got a little bit of everything up there. But this is Whipple coming down into Scarborough. These little towns just go right next to each other. Now up here on the hill is the Whipple School. Up there on that hill, Scarborough Head Start. Now down here is Scarborough Market. You might have recognized that building. It's a recognizable building. There's the Whipple Company store. This is one I'm telling you about. I'm sure you've seen pictures, and there's pictures on the internet from up above where somebody had a drone. And the roof line on the top of this thing, you see those rooms that are up there above that main roof? The rooms on top form a cross. And this is the head, or the top of the cross would be right here where it says Whipple when you're up above. Well, we're going to go up through here and go up the back way into Oak Hill. So maybe you've been up through here for a while. There's the infamous satellite dish with the smiley face on it down here in Scarborough. Oh yes, this is Scarborough. What's happening, bro? We're down in Scarborough. I know some people named Scarborough. Pretty good people. Ones I know. This is Scarborough, and the houses were built right on top of each other, just to save room, time, and space from the company that built the houses. Company-owned houses, company-owned town, company-owned store, company-owned everything. Now, the kids aren't in school today, so I can see them back here on the street, on the road, trying to be entertained at Well, now it's up to says my truck says it's up to 10. I never know my old truck to lie, any. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you I'm going to meet a friend of mine. Oh, Harry. Harry's a preacher over around Gatewood. Been a warrior for the Lord for a lot of years. But Harry and I both are retired from our jobs. Harry's continuing on in his ministry, though, at the church as a pastor there. I had to give my pastoral ministry up. But the Lord had other plans for me now. I'm ministering here on the road and inviting you to go along so I can minister to you a little bit. Let you know, hey, somebody loves you. That's me. But I'm going to meet Harry and we're going to have a little coffee at the local McDonald's. I'm just thinking, especially since I'm retired now, have a lot of time, you know, get together with some of your old friends, drink some coffee, have a chat, catch up. Life is changing. I remember when I first came to Fayetteville, here was the interim pastor there. He had just really had been preaching for a while, but he had yet to be ordained, and that was one of the things that I was able to do there at the church, is we brought together the church to ordain Harry. And he then became pastor later at Gatewood and had been out there ever since, just serving the Lord, preaching the gospel. See him on TV every day. I mean, every week he puts these services on there. And yeah, I think that's a smart thing to do. If you're really interested in getting the Word of God out, and it's free. I mean, you already have your internet. I just use my cell phone. You know, I pay whatever it costs me for a stupid iPhone. But sometimes it works and does a good job. I'm glad for that. Downtown Oak Hill. How long has it been? There's the big hospital. Oh yeah, it's still here. I tell you what, let's go down and we'll go by the police station, down by the new, well, pretty new, DHHR building they built down there. I should tell you, it's on what they call Oiler. Alright. Yeah, I'm just thinking about on this ride with Ron, I need to encourage you to get together with your friends more often. You know, when I was growing up, that was something that my parents did religiously. Every week, they were going to somebody's house to play cards, drink coffee, and eat cake. I've never known them to drink anything but coffee, except maybe some soda, soft drinks, that type of thing. But it was a church event as well. A lot of the times, right after church, people would go from the church to somebody's house, and they would have a cake prepared and everything, so everybody could sit around and talk. We called it the get-together. Yeah, that's one thing we don't do a lot of anymore, get-together. We sit at home on our little individual cell phones, and that's what has happened. Pulled us completely apart, especially the babies. The children really suffer. Now, I can just take it or leave it myself. A lot of times I forget it. So sometimes if you try to call me, you can't get me, just leave me a message, all right? But I wouldn't mind it if you wanted to call and talk to me, if you wanted to share your life or issues or encouragement for me, but I tell you what, I do want to pass all of that on to you. Tell you I love you, I'm thankful for you, and I mean everybody who would happen by chance to watch this video. You are loved and forgiven. But now, you have to take up that forgiveness with God. Because if you're finding it hard in your heart to forgive and talk to people in your life, you've got something called bitterness. And it'll eat you alive. Let go of that. God will forgive you for that. That is not right. It's sin to hold a grudge and not talk to somebody. You think that's right? Well, that's what the devil wants you to think. That you're justified in what you're doing. Jesus said 70 times 7. That's how many times. There's a police department. You're supposed to forgive people. 70 times 7. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot. Count them up. How many acres of land does somebody have to steal from you before you're willing to forgive them? What's the limit on that acreage there? Yeah. Let the Lord work all that out, because He is totally capable. That's why I trust Him and try to forgive and try to love as He wants me to. It's tough, because I am thick-headed. What I mean by that? Well, I went up and had an ultrasound done of my skull because someone told me I was thick-headed once. I said, really? Huh, I'm going to check that out. Went up there to Morgantown, had the doctor put me in one of them scanning machines, and he said, yep, you got a thick head all right. Oh my. And they proceeded to drill 2 holes into my head the size of nickels. Now that is why I am crazy as a June bug. They have drilled holes in my head and let all that bad stuff out. Now I talk to the Lord. I don't see it face to face, but He tells me what He wants me to know. And one thing He wants me to tell you, that He wants to be friends. He wants to be friends with you. He loves you. He cares for you. Do you know that the Bible says we're created in the image of God? So what that means? We look like Him. He looked like us. Back and forth, right? We look like Him. We're created in His image. People don't understand the glory that God gave to humanity when He created Adam in the Garden of Eden. He was God's perfect Son with the creation. So we know that along with that perfection came a choice that Adam chose to eat the forbidden fruit. And so now we all have tasted and begged forgiveness for our sin for eating the forbidden fruit. The fruit that brings death is the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. That's what you learn by experiencing the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. go to Sunday school. Forsake not the assembling of yourself together. That's Hebrews 10:25. I mentioned that yesterday. But also, study to show yourself approved unto God, a workman that needs not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth in 2 Timothy 3:16. We have got to study for it. How else you going to know? I know this. God has power and a plan. He can show you supernaturally without you even cracking a book if he wants to. But he chooses to plant the tree to let you decide. You want to go with him? See, that's why I ask people to go with me. I'm going to heaven. And I am not ashamed to say it. I am not ashamed of my God. Romans 1:16. For I'm not ashamed of the power of God, for I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God unto salvation to them that believe, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek, which means to everyone, the Gentiles, us. Well, gonna meet old Harry O down here. I haven't got the chance to sit down and chat with him for a while. It'll be good to get the chance to catch up on things. And just hope and pray you're having a good day. I know the sun is shining here. Hope it's shining where you are, even though it may be cold. That sunshine sure do look good. Look up, friend. Your redemption draweth nigh. This too will pass. Yeah. Go over here and see Mickey D for a cup of black.